we've got a lot to catch up on. I know the live was supposed to be yesterday. However, I may have thrown out my back, so we'll see how long I can sit in this chair to do this live. But I have missed y'all so much. If you're watching the replay, thank you. I'm so glad to have you joining in. So, pour your coffee, do your makeup, whatever your routine. I'm glad to have you. So, just going to go over a quick what all are we going to talk about on this episode for those of you who are watching the replay, and for those of you who are joining the live. Today I'm talking about bouquet pricing. How do I do it? Do I dry my flowers? Do I have plans for next year? How do I deal with this crazy heat and irrigation? And how do I manage doing all this? Farm, life, family, everything. One second to make sure my live chat is on. There we go. Ha ha ha. See, I'm missing. Hey everybody. Hi Backyard Gourds. Thank you for coming. And, do different flowers do better, things like that. Also about how to turn on that salesperson personality, which you really definitely need if you're going to sell flowers. So I'm just going to wait just another minute as people hop onto the live. Thank you guys for joining. I really appreciate it. I was so sad I couldn't do it last night. Hey, Mom. Welcome to the show. My back is feeling much better today. Lisa, welcome. Nebraska. How hot is it in Nebraska right now? As I can tell you, it's 101 outside, but the heat index says it feels about 106, 107. I'm not going outside anytime soon today. It is so hot, which we'll get to that. Oh, well, thank you for subscribing, Backyard Gourds. I appreciate it. Hey, Melissa. 94 today. Oh, man. Yeah, it's ridiculous how hot it is this summer. From Australia. Thank you. Is it cold in Australia right now? Because aren't y'all the opposite of us? I'm going to be a little jealous. I bet y'all are jealous of the fact that we're growing flowers right now, and we're jealous of the fact that y'all are cool while we are just sweating. You're outside longer than 5 minutes and just everywhere starts to sweat. It's horrible. We'll get to it. We're going to talk about it. But I'm so glad to have you all joining me. And from Texas, 102 today. Summer Sky Gardens. It's cold, frost and cold winds. See, I'm wishing for that right now. But I know once we get into winter, I'll be just wanting to be outside again. I'm waiting for it to warm up. Isn't that the life of anybody who gardens? You just want to be outside so bad, and then when it finally heats up, you're ready for it to cool down. Eastern Washington. Thanks, Alyssa. 100 this week. Well, let me tell you, the hundreds are not good. Yeah, it's hundreds. July, August, and September are our hottest months here in Louisiana, and you cannot work outside unless you're a crazy person. I would not work outside in this heat. But let's get into what we're talking about today. So several of you asked questions, and thank you so much. If you don't know, I'll make posts on my community tab. So if you're a subscriber, you should be able to easily see that. If you go to my channel, you can see community, and under the community tab, I'll post pictures, I'll ask questions, polls, things like that. And some of you some of you asked questions like I asked you to, which was really great. So one of the questions I got, which I had to make me a sheet of all the questions and some of my answers to keep me on track, is bouquet pricing. How do I price my bouquets? There are several different ways that you can, and it's really up to you. I've seen people price them to where they just go and make them, and they judge depending on how it looks, their price. Hi, thanks for joining me from Seattle. And some people like to count each flower. I personally like to do a flat stem rate and kind of an eyeball rate. So what I mean by flat stem is I am giving every single stem a price. So every zinnia, depending on the size of the zinnia, is going to be $1 to $2 in value. And every sunflower, I like to charge a minimum of $2 unless it's a really good sunflower. $3 is my ideal price for sunflowers. It also comes down to your market. I know I can get $3 ahead on my sunflowers easily at my market. Your market may be different than my market, but at the end of the day, I have to make money on these flowers. So I take into consideration how much did the seed cost me, how long and how much time does this plant take me, and how many flowers am I going to get from that seed. So for something like a sunflower, I'm paying anywhere from 10 cents to 50 cents a seed. And planting it, they don't really take much work. However, my sunflowers, I grow mainly the pro cuts, so it's only one flower per stem. So at the $3 stem, to me, that's a great profit margin on my labor, being able to grow that flower up, and taking in that half the seeds I plant, there's a chance that something's going to go wrong and wipe out at least 20% of my crop. So try to keep that in mind. Whereas a zinnia, I can get zinnia seeds for like, 5-10 cents a seed. I'm going to get about 5 flowers at a time from that single plant. So I actually charge about 50 cents to $1 to all the way up to $2 for the giant dahlia size zinnias per flower. Zinnias are some money makers and they are such hard workers. Love my zinnias. So I sell my arrangements in jars or as market wrap bouquets. I do my pricing as $20 across the table. I feel like that makes it easier on the customer and on myself. I personally tend to get a little overwhelmed if I'm trying to calculate everything at once. It's easier for me to go, okay, 3 bouquets, 3 times 20 is 60, got it, let's go. Versus something like a bouquet bar where I'm trying to go, okay, she's got 1 sunflower, 2, 3, 4, and trying to add that up. I would feel bad for slowing down the customer because my brain just doesn't think that fast. So that's why I do $20 across the table. Now, when I'm selling in the mason jars, I put in less than $20 value into the mason jars and into the market bouquets. Oh no, they took out your sunflowers and your delphiniums. Oh, that's horrible. Yeah, our lab costly would gladly do that if she was allowed inside the electric fence. But I don't put exactly $20 into my arrangements that I sell on market day. For the market bouquet wraps, the ones that come in a wrap, I go ahead and write off $1 for my supplies. So $1 to cover the paper that I'm having to wrap it in. I give away a packet of flower food with it. And then I give her, I've got the rubber band to hold it together, plus my staple, my card, and the twine. So I charge $1 flat fee for that. So before I even start putting together the bouquet, I know I'm putting about $18 to $19 worth of flowers into that. My fillers also have a price. So 4 stems of basil is going to be around $1. So about 25 cents each. You have to price the fillers as well. So when I put together that bouquet, I know I'm doing about $18, $19 worth of flowers in the market bouquet. For my jars, I got a lot of jars for free. I had a fellow farmer who I met who said, hey, I used to be really into canning. I'm not anymore. I've got all these mason jars. Would you like them? Yes, I would love your mason jars. And she gave me about 10 boxes full of mason jars. Now, I saw someone ask this question on one of the flower farming Facebook groups, and the response was spot on. They asked, hey, since I got these jars for free, she was in a similar situation like I was, should I charge for them? And if you're in a situation like I am, where you got these jars for free, or you get vases from your family and friends for free, the answer is yes. Always, always charge for it. You may have gotten that jar for free, but your customer doesn't know that. And eventually, you may run out of those jars and vases, and guess who's got to buy them? You do. So go ahead and charge them. I charge about $3 for a jar or vase. Right now, I'm pretty much stocked on all my vases. I'm starting to get low on jars, which means I'm going to have to go buy those jars. It's a lot easier to keep your price the same or to lower your price than to raise it up because now you're having to pay for that jar. Your customers, they don't care that you got that jar for free and that they were getting it free before and now they're having to pay. They're going to care if they are having to pay, that is. So go ahead and count that jar. Go ahead and charge what you think is appropriate to charge for that jar. Go out and look and see how much that same thing of mason jars would cost you. Hey Sarah, welcome to the live. And then charge appropriately. So if I were to go buy mason jars at my local Walmart, they're going to cost me about $1.50 a jar. So $3 I'm happy with. I charge $3 for the jar, and then I go ahead and charge another $1 for my rubber band, my card, my flower food, the things that I pack it with the jar. So before I even start making the arrangements in my mason jars, we're already at $4. So they're getting about $16 worth of flowers into the mason jars. So I try to put a lot of effort into those to make it look like it's a really good value. When my customers ask me at the farm stand, hey, what's the difference since they're both $20? I go ahead and explain, you're having to pay for the jar. So you get a few, like 2 or 3 more flowers in the bouquet arrangements versus the jar arrangements. I always like to bring a few extra jars of water with me just so I can make more mason jar arrangements while I'm there. And if I have a customer that really loves a bouquet arrangement but wants a jar, I'll go ahead and charge a $5 fee for the jar. Now, Jessie, that's more than what you're charging with the arrangement in the jar. I know, but it's a convenience. They're getting a longer stem of flowers in the bouquet arrangements, market bouquets, than they are in the jar. The jar arrangements that are already done are shorter to make that jar look the best. Whereas my market arrangements are nice long stems, and it's a convenience fee, so $5. So that is how I personally like to price my items, is by the stem, kind of by the eye. Sometimes I'll add a little extra filler than I'm supposed to just because it needs a little something extra. And I always charge for my jar. And I also like to pay attention to what sells good when. So one thing I've noticed this year, y'all, is for my spring flowers, my mason jars sold like crazy. People were buying those mason jar arrangements like no other. And the summer, all my summer flowers with sunflowers, zinnias, and such, they are not selling as well in jars. Nobody wants my mason jar or spring flowers. It is all about learning, what sells good when. So right now, I'm not bringing any more mason jars to the flower farm market because there's no point. Nobody's buying them. All right, next question. Do I dry my flowers? This one's easy. No, I do not dry my flowers because I don't have room to dry flowers. You really need a nice, dark, airy space to dry them. And I literally just don't have room, guys. I'm very envious of Serena from You Can't Eat the Grass and how she's able to. I think my husband would be very upset with me if he came into our family den, which I've already kind of taken over for seeds productions, and found hanging flowers from these beams above me. And there would be even more stuff everywhere. So at this time, I don't dry my flowers, though I've had a few people ask about dry flowers because they're interested in using them in their own products that they sell at the market. But as of right now, no dry flowers for me, though if I were to dry flowers, it would be status, hands down. I've actually had a few people ask me, hey, just for the leftover status that you've got that doesn't sell, if you'll give it to me, that would be great, or I'll buy it from you. So I actually need to go start saving the status flowers, as people use it in their soaps and lotions and things that they sell. So really need to get onto that. Excuse me. So plans for next year. We'll actually get to that next. Let's do how do I deal with this heat and irrigation? So like we were talking about earlier, it's 101 today with a heat index of 106, which is actually not bad. The humidity's kind of down. Normally with the humidity, it's like 112, 113. Because you have too many, listen, I wish I had a place to dry them. That'd be great. But with the humidity, it gets really hot. So, you know how, I know a lot of you watch You Can't Eat the Grass. I'm assuming that all of you watch You Can't Eat the Grass, because I'm just this little small YouTuber over here. So you all probably, discovered me either from watching their videos or something like that. But they always like to work at night. I ain't working at night. It's actually the coolest part of the day is in the morning. So I'm waking up around 4, 4:30, 5 o'clock at the latest, so I can get outside and work. The sun gets where I can see around 6 a.m. So that I work in the mornings. I work from about 6 a.m. Can you rent a storage unit for drying and storage? It's not worth it at this point, Lisa. I don't think it's worth it for that yet, for dried flowers. Maybe I'll get there at some point. Right now, it's not worth it. But, so I work from 6 a.m. to about 9 a.m. in the morning, and then I'm inside. And then I stay inside, and if I'm going to go back out, it's around 7:30 to 8 o'clock. And by that point, I've got maybe a good hour or two before I'm working at darkness. And y'all know how my arachnophobia is. Y'all know I'm terrified. So when we get to nighttime, I can see where I'm sticking my hand into that basil bed and things like that. I'm not doing it. I'm just not. I'm going inside. Not to mention, we live in the woods. Well, I wouldn't really consider it the woods. We're like 5 minutes from interstate. But a lot of people who live in the city would consider it in the woods. But there are things in my backyard. There are things. They make noises. Something sounds like a woman screaming in my backyard. I don't know what it is. Y'all, one night, I kid you not, we used to have chickens. And one night, I had some friends over, and I left the chicken coop open. And they went to leave. It was just me at the house. And they called me from their car after leaving my house. And they went, Jessie, there's something in your backyard. I'm like, why are you calling to tell me this? What? There's something in your backyard screaming. Just go outside on your back porch and listen. I'm like, okay. They went, but you gotta stay on the phone with us. I'm like, okay. So I go outside and I stand on the back porch and I hear this thing, and oh my God. It did. It sounded like a woman screaming in pain. And I'm like, what the heck is this? They're like, did you close up your chickens? I'm like, I've got to go close up my chicken coop. It's going to eat my chickens. My husband's not home. I'm by myself. I've got to go save my chickens, which are like, I think it's a panther. Honestly, Alyssa, is what people say. We have panthers or something. I don't know. Maybe a cougar. But I ran with my friends on my phone the entire time, going, I'm almost to the chicken coop, guys. I'm almost there. Closing the coop and ran like my life depended on it back to the house and closed it. We also have coyotes, and seeing it down the road or near our area, we have a black bear. So I'm a big scaredy cat. I'm a huge scaredy cat, and there are things in the woods. I don't mess with the things in the woods. There's a reason why we go inside at night and tend to sleep at night. We ain't supposed to be out there in the woods at night. Yeah, they probably are, Alyssa. I think they are. Well, I mean, they're both cats. But I have never heard something sound like that in my life living here in Louisiana. I've never heard anything like that. Ugh. I don't work in the woods. Not in the woods at night. Yeah, the roses. Actually, John, went on a tangent there, didn't I? I haven't checked on my roses in like a month. I hope they're still alive. I do work a job. I'm still working a full-time job. So on a normal weekday, it's up at 5 a.m. or 4. Go outside, work from 6 till about 7:30 or 8. Then come in. Hey, welcome from Arkansas. Hey, neighbor. So wake up at 6, go outside, work from about 6 to 7:30 to 8. Come inside, shower, get ready for work, go to work, and then come back home, eat supper with the family, maybe edit a video or two, and then go back out at 7:30, 7:45, depending on what's going on. But anyway, dealing with this heat has been hard because it is too hot to be working outside in the middle of the day in this heat. I would pass out. You cannot drink enough water in this heat. So it's really slowed me down. For irrigation, I use drip tape. I believe it's 8 or 6 milliliter drip tape with 8-inch. Yes, I would, Earth Bike. I would grow iris for cut flowers. I grow Dutch irises for cut flowers in the spring. So, drip tape. I bought a timer. Actually, I have it. Hang on 1 second. We are about to get mobile. 1 second. And I hope y'all can see me okay. I'm on Wi-Fi. So let me know if the camera quality is really bad. I'll run to the bedroom. But I bought a timer to use with my drip tape this year. And as you can see, it's still in the box. I haven't started using it yet. So I'm still horrible about forgetting that the water's on. And my daughter will text me while I'm at work. And she's like, hey, Mom, did you mean to leave the water on? No. No, I did not mean to leave the water on. Please go turn it off. I'm still figuring out irrigation. So I've got the dahlia bed is one hookup, and then the regular flower bed is another hookup. But as y'all know, some flowers like more water than others, and I've got to figure out a way to hook up the multiple zones that makes sense. I don't have water going underground to it. I literally take my garden hose and hook it up to the drip tape and turn on the faucet. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so we're going to get into my energy level in a minute and where that comes from. But that is what I do. Drip irrigation has saved me. My first year ever growing anything, I hand watered. And that took like an hour for just a small little 500 square foot area. So drip tape. It's really great. I use Irrigation King is who I use for my drip tape. If you connect to well water, be careful not to run your drip. Yeah, we're on city water. We're not on well water, but I saw where that happened to Nicole with Flower Hill Farm where they ran out. But Irrigation King's who I use. I asked the agent, I chatted him up. I was like, hey, this is what I want to do. What do I need? And he basically got me a list of things that I would need to do what I needed to do. So how to hook up tape and all that, not your girl for it. I'm still figuring it out. I've got several places with holes in them right now that I need to swap out. But that's how I'm handling the heat. I'm not working out in the middle of the day, and I'm using drip tape to water. I'm watering in the mornings and at night. The only thing that's not on drip tape is my limelight hydrangea bush, which, fun fact, is the only hydrangea I've ever gotten to live, and apparently needs water daily. I know the timers are wonderful, Mary. I've got to hook it up. And I'm like, I don't have time, even though it would save me time if I did it. Drip tape came from Irrigation King. Irrigation King, they were great, wonderful people, super helpful, fast shipping, really nice. Highly recommend Irrigation King. Not sponsored. Hey, if you want to tell them you heard it from me, feel free. Maybe they'll reach out. All right, so that's how I'm handling that. Oh yeah, another reason why I don't harvest or deal with the farm at night is I could put on a headlamp to see at night, but I don't know about y'all. there are bugs. There are bugs. And you know what they do when they see a light, especially if you got a headlamp? They fly at the light. And I don't know how many of you saw the June bug debacle that we've had, but those creatures are from hell. They come from Satan himself. Do you hear me? They fly in the light, and then they get tangled in your hair, and then you're ready to just shave your whole head. So, no headlamp at night, no working at night. There are bugs, and there are demon creatures in the woods that I'm not dealing with. All right, so I'm going to do one last thing about working the market. Questions about salesperson and do flowers do better than others, and then we'll get into what's actually going on the farm and how I'm doing. So salesperson, you've really got to be a great salesperson. If you've never worked in retail before, this can be hard. Personally, I completely change when I'm selling, and when I'm on YouTube, I change a little bit. I make my voice a little higher pitch. This is how I would normally talk, is like this, like, hey guys, how you doing? Camera zaps all the energy, and then if you have a choice to talk to somebody who sounds happy and upbeat versus, hey, how you guys doing? You want to buy some flowers? Who are you going to buy flowers from? So my mom, we owned a appliance store where we used to sell and repair appliances for years, and I got my customer service skills from her. So we have regular Jessie, and then we have salesman Jessie, who's, hi, how are you this morning? I am doing great. How are you doing in this heat? We're from the South. We greet everybody, and I do mean everybody. Anybody who's walking near my stand, I am making eye contact and going, hi, how are you? Or wishing them a good morning. If they come up to my stand, I'm going to attempt to chat them up more and tell them about my farm if they've never bought flowers from me. So I'm going to go, how are you this morning? Oh, I'm doing great. Trying not to sweat too badly. Trying to sell some flowers and help support my farm. You know, I grow all of this right here in Ruston from seed or bulb. And oftentimes that will make them happy. They're like, do you really? I'm like, yes. You know, this is my second year growing anything, and I'm loving being here at the farmer's market and be able to sell flowers with the community. And most times that will, you know, get them, they're going to want to buy flowers. If they're a little quieter and they're like, then I'm going to back off a little bit, and I'm going to go, you know, is there anything I can help you with? If you have any questions, let me know. Because they're kind of like, they're not feeling a salesperson. And that's fine. Not everybody wants to deal with a salesperson. My plant light just went off. That's when it got dark. So you need to kind of change the pitch in your voice, smile, and talk about your product and reach out to people. Even if it doesn't look like they're about to stop by your stand, excuse me, I'm going to still, hi, how are you this morning? And wish them a good day, ask them, you know, what they're doing, how are they, and then I get people who come to the farm stand and they go, I grow all this. I'm like, oh, great. What's your favorite flower? Zinnias. I try to warm them up because they could be a potential customer. Maybe they need flowers later and I grow something that they don't need. But when you get those people who are Karens, and I'm sorry if your name's Karen, but you know what I mean, where they're just kind of like, I would never pay $20 for zinnias. That's when you go, put on the smile, go, yes, ma'am, you know, I've got a lot of people, though, who aren't able to grow flowers, and they love being able to enjoy them. I'm just so happy that I can grow them for them and let others who aren't able to do this be able to enjoy my flowers. Try and spin it and turn it into a positive. So let me look at what I wrote down, make sure I'm covering everything. Oh, yeah. I'm also trying to gauge just how much of myself I can be with these people and with you. I am awkward, very awkward and shy when you first meet me, just because I'm trying to gauge how much I can be with myself without freaking you out and running you away and making you think I'm some kind of crazy weirdo. Because I am a crazy weirdo. It's okay. I'm awkward. It's all good. I've accepted it. I've embraced the weirdness. But I also know how to bring that warmth and happiness to make my customers feel good. And another trick I've learned is if they're kind of, I'm not sure if I want to buy flowers, but they're really pretty, I tell them what today's sales are going towards. So they're coming, they're looking. I'm like, yep, just trying to save up to be able to buy tulips for this year. I'm ready to place my fall order. And sometimes that'll pique their interest, and they're very happy to know that their purchase today is helping to buy more flowers or inventory that will grow the farm for next year. So that's another little tip that you can do. And guys, if y'all would like a video on this, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to put one together. One of the things I love doing at work is customer service skills and how to actually answer the phone and interact with people to help bring that, good customer service. All right, so family, office, life. Awkward is my middle name. I feel like a lot of people can relate to being awkward. We're all awkward in our own special way, except for those people who are just so dang photogenic and just seem like they know how to do everything. It's like, I wish I was one of those people. No, I don't. I was telling my boss the other day. He was like, Jessie, you're weird. And I looked down and went, I know, it's part of what makes me me and so good at my job. He's like, yeah, but kind of crazy. That's a little, he was picking at me. And I looked down and went, you know what? It's the normal people that you really need to look out for. He's like, what? Why? So they snap. At least with the crazy people, you got some flexibility. So there you go. So work, office, family, farm. How do you handle it all? Let me get some coffee before I answer that. How do I everything? First, it starts with a good cup of coffee. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Severine, I'm sorry, I'm probably tearing that name apart. I apologize. But coffee. Coffee helps a lot with the functioning. But a lot of you ask about my energy and, the drive. So a couple of years ago, I spent a good 2 years in a recliner watching TV all day. I would clean my house, and I would sit in the recliner and watch TV all day. That's all I did with my life. I had no motivation to get up. I would get mad at wanting to start projects and not being able to. I was unhappy. So I sat in a recliner, and I watched TV, and I did nothing else. I sat. And when I discovered flowers, it really kind of helped motivate me to get out there and start something, and it felt good. And during that time, I was so exhausted. I would still end up having to sit in the recliner. And as it turned out, the majority of that was a medical condition. I got diagnosed with hypothyroidism, which I'm sure a lot of you can relate to. I know it's very common in us women. I got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes for my 30th birthday. Yay me! So all these things were just creating so much fatigue and draining me where I didn't want to do anything. So got medicated, and the medication finally got my levels back up. I was also anemic, had no blood. So got all my levels right, and I was like, I don't want to sit anymore. I want to get up and I want to do. So that's kind of where the YouTube also came into play, was I want to do. I don't want to sit anymore and wait on life to pass me by. That's not living. Sitting in a recliner watching TV all day is not living. You've got to get up. You've got to get up, and you've got to get started. It's so hard at first. And there are still days I'm going through one of those phases right now where the fatigue is really set in. And y'all have noticed there's no video. The fatigue is really set in. And I've had a hard time getting myself up. Because if I just get started, I tend to keep going. And that's where the drive comes from, is I know if I stop moving, I tend to stay still. If I keep moving, I keep getting things done. I'm able to do this, this, and this. And with that, I also burn myself out. I have a friend, Caitlin. I don't know if you're watching right now, Caitlin, but she's like, Jessie, you're the only person I know that when you decide to get into something, you really dive into something and like give it 120%. And that's what I do with flower farming, is I pour my whole self into it. So yes, I've got family, job, the farm, the YouTube channel, and I'm still figuring it out. I'm not Superwoman. My body has taken kindly to reminding me that I'm not Superwoman. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Old Glory Farm. It's horrible. The autoimmune diseases are horrible, and then when you get diagnosed with one, you're gonna come down with more. So I'm just kind of bracing myself, but it's been hard. It's been hard lately to get up and do it lately. I have months where I will just go. Oh yeah, it's hard. It's hard to do it. So my answer is, I don't do it all, guys. I don't. I have a video release or not, but I literally just broke down. I sat in the farm and I just sat there and cried to y'all on the camera about how I felt with all the chores that need to be done. There's so much weeding and everything else, and I just, oh, hang on, let me read this. Oh no, don't go away. Dang it, it went away. There it went. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, backyard gardens. Yeah, you gotta keep on moving. But I sat in front of my camera and I cried. And I talked to y'all on the camera about how, overwhelmed I felt with all the weeding and the seeds and everything that needed to be done. And it's back to school, which means I need to go buy my kids' uniforms and school supplies. I need to go restock the house, and it's a lot. And it's okay. It was okay. I needed that breakdown. I needed to have that good cry and to tell myself that it's okay. You're not Superwoman. None of us are Superwomen. None of us can go and go and go. You see me go on the YouTube videos, and did for a few months, and now I'm having to take myself and go, okay, your body needs to rest. Your mind needs to rest. So I've taken about 2 weeks of just not recording anything, spending time with the family, and just focusing on myself and my family. And it's been great. And now I'm starting to get that drive back. And my husband's ready for me to have that drive back, because, y'all, I'm sitting here looking off camera. I'm looking at my Jang. I came home and my husband bought me a Jang cedar. If y'all don't know what that is is like a pro cedar. Like, it's a $500 cedar that I was hoping to save up for, and I couldn't believe he bought it. I cried. Oh my gosh, Sarah. That is so sweet of you. Thank you so much for that generous gift. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Sarah. That is so sweet of you. Thank you. But yeah, he bought me a Jang. So I'm like, I really need to get outside and start. That's another thing, is we're almost through the season. My first frost doesn't come until October. So I'm at the point where if I'm going to start more seeds, I need to do it now. And it's oh, it's just so hot and lazy. And I threw out my back Saturday. I kept my friend's baby so they could have a night out on the town, and the pack and play got me, guys. Bending over the pack and play did my back in. So that's why I had to push the live back to today. I just couldn't do it. But that's what I've been doing, is the farm has overwhelmed me completely. I've bitten off more than I can chew. I've had a complete breakdown and had to take a few days of not editing, not farming, just have been doing orders here and there. I've still been in the market. I didn't do it this past weekend, though. I was like, I need a break. Doing the market every single weekend, plus everything else was just, oh. Yeah, I'm definitely one not to ask for help. I'm like, I can do it all. And sometimes, I'm so lucky, my husband will sometimes, he'll see that I'm struggling to get out. And he'll go, hey, Jessie, do you want me to help you with blah, blah? And I'm like, yes. And then once he gets out there, I won't stop, because I can't have him out there longer than I'm out there. It becomes kind of a competition, But it's okay. Flowers are amazing. I love flower farming. I love hanging out with y'all. But sometimes, you've got to take a step back, and you've got to give your body a chance to heal and to recover, because sometimes we tend to overdo it, and I'm the worst at that. I tend to overdo it, and within, a week or two, I'll be back at it going like I have nothing else to do. And I'm excited. Guys, I've already placed my fall seed order with GeoSeed. They all came in. I'm so excited. I'm growing a lot more yarrow this year. I'm growing more Rudbeckia. Gosh, I should have written it all down. A lot more seeds. Larkspur, bachelor buttons. Oh, the Canterbury bells. I lost all my accounts this year due to my work schedule and life balance. How do you also full worker? Okay, Melissa, here's my advice. You have to kind of carve out a schedule. And I say this with love. You're going to carve out a schedule, and you're not going to stick to it if you're like me. But you have to try. So in the beginning of the season, and this is what I do with a lot of things when I've got a lot going on, is I make a list. A list of things that need to be done, and I prioritize it. So I know from in the height of the season, early part of the season, I wake up at 4. I'm going to work on editing videos from 4:30 a.m. until 6 a.m. And then I'm going to go outside and work until 7:30, because at that point I need to come in and get ready for work. Once I come home from work, when it's dark outside by the time I get home, I sit down and I rest. And I don't do anything else for the rest of the night, because you need that rest time. I spend it with my family or doing something else. So make yourself a schedule. One thing my husband and I have started doing is we go on dates. Once a week, we go on dates. We have to. It's our alone time. The kids are old enough where we can go out without them and they're safe. And then we have our date night once a week, normally on a Friday, because Saturday I'm exhausted, and I ain't gonna look this good on a Saturday after working in the farm. If I come off work, this is how I look. And then we have movie night with the kids. So we'll pick out a movie, watch it with the kids, and you have to carve out time and have certain days. And something's gonna give. You just have to choose what can hold off. In my life, the flower farm, it can be put off. It's okay. I may lose a few plants, but at the end of the day, I would rather be able to have that time with my husband and my kids, and then take care of the farm when I can. And that's kind of what I'm still learning. I tend to try and dedicate all my time to this one thing I'm obsessed with, which right now it's YouTube and flower farming, and then I have to rein myself back in. There's only so much you can do. Allow yourself so much time to work on this one thing. So you're going to work on flower farming for however many hours or minutes per day, and that's it. Cut yourself off. Go do the thing that you need to do next after that, which may be go spend time with your family. If you're in school, go study, but set yourself some time limits. That is my advice. And then do your best to stay with that. Yeah, wanting to be the best will backfire in a heartbeat. All right, so back to seeds. Well, on that. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad I could help. Hey, Andy, welcome. So I ordered stock. I have a feeling this 2023 is going to be my stock year, guys. I ordered lots more status, stock, Canterbury Bells. Yarrow, I ordered more summer pastels. And I ordered another color. I think I ordered yellow. I'm going to be trying Feverfew. The Feverfew I planted out this year, before I knew it was a cold flower, looks terrible. It is hating this heat. So, lots of Feverfew to try that out. I ordered a lot. Like, I don't even know where. Oh, here are my seeds. Hang on. Let's see. Campanula. Yeah, the Feverfew died too. Rose, white, deep blue. Apparently a lot of deep blue. Lavender. This is all Campanula. Okay. Oh, apparently Pro Pink, mediums, doubles, you name it, I got it. So, John, I have not, I do have a Google business page. I have an actual website. But as far as advertising, I'm just word of mouth and using Facebook and Instagram. My flower farm dream would be to work on the farm full time, have a place for photographers to come out and take pictures, be able to have a farm stand that people come to and buy flowers while still being able to do the farmer's market, to not have a full-time job, to just do the flower farm and YouTube and be able to travel during the off season and talk to people, because I just love telling people my story and being able to inspire people. I love being able to do that. I'm really excited. I'm going to talk to the Rusted Master Gardeners Club in March. Really excited about that. And just telling people how if I can go from a plant killer who kills aloe vera, I've killed like 3 aloe vera plants, about to be number 4 over there, to growing a flower farm, you can do it too. Anybody can do it. It really just, you've got to have the want to do it and the drive. But you can do anything. I strongly believe you can do anything that you really want to do. So that's would be my perfect flower farm, is just to go outside. I'll have a giant greenhouse. That'd be great. I'll have an air-conditioned workshop and a freezer. Well, not a freezer, a cooler to keep all my flowers. And I'm just going to run through my flowers. I'll have a section that I just let bloom for the photographers, and I'll just run. It'll just be a daydream of me running through my flowers. Not all hot and sweaty, you know. That would be a dream, not to be hot and sweaty while working out there in the flower farm field, right? Oh, thank you, Melissa. I appreciate it. But I'm excited. This year's going to be my stock year. I ordered a lot more status. We're going to get these fall seedlings planted in time. I hope. That is the goal this year. We're going to get all these fall plants in the ground on time. I have so much to do, speaking of being overwhelmed. So Pepper Harrow Farm, I don't know how many of you watched where they talked about how they make these fields for their photographers. Oh, their field of bachelor buttons was breathtaking. It was so beautiful. And then they're filled with cosmos. So, what did I do after watching that video? Well, like any good seed hoarder who can never have enough seeds. Oh my god, I'm gonna kill my back again. Ow. I ordered more seeds. So, this is a Southwest wildflower seed mix. I also ordered a ton of Cosmos mix, Bachelor Buttons wholesale mix. I ordered them from where did I order these? EdenBrothers.com, but it wasn't Eden Brothers. It came from another website. I will find out and let y'all know. I'll have to look for the invoice. But I ordered a bunch of them. So now I need to go tarp part of the field so I can kill off the weeds and order some compost to throw over there and then throw the seeds out and it'll be great. Have you considered plugs? I have. Here's my experience with plugs. So I ordered plugs from Farmer Bailey's last summer for a fall delivery so I could get them planted in time. They came in. The plants were beautiful. The little seedlings were so healthy and gorgeous, and I wasn't ready for them. They died in their trays about a month after I received them because I just never put them in the ground because I didn't have the field area prepped. So maybe one day I'll get back to plugs. I think if I ordered anything from plugs, it would be Lysianthus. But as of right now, I let them die. And it's so expensive. It's worth it if you're actually going to put the plugs in the ground. 100% worth it. But, you know, the best laid plans. Just, life is crazy. You just never know what's going to happen. So I need to go out and tarp the field so I can get the seeds planted. I've ordered more daffodils. I've ordered tulips. I've ordered crocus. Crocus, I think is how you pronounce it, crocus. They're not going to be cut flowers. They're going to be for the photographers. I think they'll make a nice little backdrop with the daffodils. We'll see. Daffodils. We'll see. I would like to order more roses, but seeing as I haven't even looked at the roses I ordered that are in the ground since like early June, I need to work on that. You know, you gotta laugh at yourself sometimes at the fact that you're epically failing at keeping everything together and running smooth. Nothing runs smooth. Nothing. I still need to go see if my sunflower seedlings have popped up out of the ground. I don't know if they have yet. But that's what's been going on with the farm is it's psycho. I'm planning for fall. My fall seed order came in. I need to put all these in the fridge because a lot of these seeds need to be planted in August. Because this year we're going to be on the ball, right guys? We're going to plant them in the ground on time. Not sure how I'm going to do that. Figure it out. Somehow. My glads from Jake. Majority of them are still sitting in a crate right here beside me. The ones that I got in the ground in late May or July, or June, not July. Late May, early June are finally starting to bloom. And I'm like, if I could just get the rest in the ground, it'll be okay. Yes, girl. You know, just growing as someone who grows in the South is so different from everybody in the North. And I feel like not enough people talk about, yes, how boring would life be if everything went to plan. You're right, Sarah. You're completely right. But everything up north is just so different. And it's so hard to find people who grow in the South. And it makes me so thankful for people like Lisa Mason Ziegler who, you know, publish books. I'm pretty sure I have those. Yes, I'm pretty sure I have those. I'd have to look at my Good Bug, Bad Bug book, but I'm pretty sure I do have those. I tried to grow pumpkins last year, or year before, and that was, oh, it was so bad. It was so bad. I will not be growing pumpkins again. Oh, you will love them, my backyard gourds. You will love them. There you go. Just pull and plant more sunflowers. Yes. Yes, we do. I've got seedlings outside as we speak, like celosa just sitting in trays and more gomphrena. And I look at it every morning. I'm like, you're hard off. It's time to put you in the ground. I just haven't done it. Can I give you advice on ants? The best advice I can tell you is just to keep putting out ant poison. I've learned that ants love landscape fabric. Ants love landscape fabric, if you haven't discovered that yet. And it never fails. I go to burn a hole in the landscape fabric and boom, there's ants. And I have to put some ant poison in it to kill them. Oh, really? That's awesome. From the Dollar Tree. And yes, I like marigolds. I like the bright orange, deep orange marigolds. Yes, I do. So with my zinnias, I have to space them about a foot apart because they get heavy. Due to the high humidity, we get powdery mildew on them and black spot. Black spot and powdery mildew happens to my zinnias. Matter of fact, they're already starting to succumb to some powdery mildew, and that's what happens with them. So yeah, the high humidity is horrible. I've planted my dahlias way too close. They need to be spaced way further apart, and I need to tie them better. That video will help with ants. What video? Oh, I know what video will help with ants. I hate ants. They say they're okay for the garden, for the flowers, but they're not okay for me. And I've had them bury my plants. I kid you not. There's a video and some update video I've got where you can see it buried one of my pincushion flowers. Oh, look up from the link. Okay, I'm going. Find it. It's too far. So Melissa, I buy all my seeds. To save seeds is very time consuming, and it can also be very rewarding. I don't have the patience for it. One, you need to know what the flower kind of looks like when it died, if you're growing for certain colors. And I tried that road once, and I thought I'd remember, and I tried to label them. Epic fail. So it's just easier to buy all the seeds from Johnny's or Geo Seeds. Geo Seeds is my favorite place to order now that I know how to order, and I've kind of learned most of the names of the things I want. So Johnny's is my next best place. That's where I started ordering seeds from, just because they have the pictures. I'm a picture person. I like to see the pictures. So seeds, I buy all my seeds every year. I do not save them. I'm too lazy. I am too lazy for that. I've got too much going on to try and save the seeds. It's too time consuming. There's only so much time in the day, and unlike Serena from You Can Eat the Grass, I am not a night owl. My butt is in bed by 9 o'clock normally, and I'm asleep before 10. I like my sleep. I need my sleep. And I despise waking up in the morning. I despise waking up at 4 a.m., which is why we have coffee. I love coffee. By the way, merch is on the spread shop. It's in the link description. Merch. There we go. And if you haven't done the YouTube things of liking this video, please do so. Appreciate it. Do y'all have any more questions as we get to the hour? That's cold coffee now. I don't like cold coffee unless it's supposed to be cold coffee. Yes, I don't know how they do it. I do not know how they do it and live. I would fall over dead if I had to stay up that late. I do wonder how late. Serena says she sleeps in really late. I'm like, how late are we talking, Serena? Are you talking like 10 a.m.? Are we talking like 3 in the afternoon? Inquiring minds need to know how late is late. Because if I was up till dawn, you ain't seeing me until like 3 o'clock. My dahlia tubers I bought from several places. I ordered them, the bulk of mine, from ADR Bulbs. And I wasn't happy with them. But that could be my fault in the shipping part. They came in clumps, but most of the tubers were broken. So I was not happy with ADR Bulbs. I ordered from Swan Island Dahlias, which is way more expensive. Worth it. So worth it. And then Hunkin Dahlias, I ordered from them as well. Both of them had them wrapped. They were individual tubers. They were amazing. Yes, so I do give out my business cards. I'll grab some. Hang on. So what I'll do is, if you watch one of my market videos, I normally punch a hole through the market bouquet. And I punch a hole through my business card. Can you see it? I know it's backwards, I'm sorry. And I use a little ribbon and I just attach it to the bouquet so everybody gets a business card. You're going to notice something about my card is I don't have my phone number on my card. That is a personal decision of mine because I still have a full-time job and I don't want my phone blowing up while I'm at work. I have to use my phone for work as well because I do a lot of different jobs. I wear a lot of different hats and I need to be able to answer my phone every single time it rings. Because I don't know if it's going to be my boss, if it's some insurance company that I'm waiting on a phone call for. So my phone number doesn't go on my card, which irritates some of my customers. And I've had them go, well, how am I supposed to get a hold of you? And I kindly explain, you may Facebook message me or message me on Instagram and I will get back with you as soon as I can. I work a full-time job, so I try to balance both. And for the most part, people are happy with the messaging. It's mostly the older generation that doesn't like the fact that I don't give out my phone number. Sometimes I will, but not often. Well, welcome, Joel, to the live. I'm glad you could make it. I have not tried to grow Lisianthus yet. Lisianthus scares me. It scares me. So I haven't worked up to do that. And yeah, we're hot and humid. My snaps, they are still blooming, but they look horrible. They look so bad. Oh my gosh. So definitely going to be letting those peter out by June. I think is what I'm going to call it. And I was talking to Creatively Candace. I don't know how many of you talk to Creatively Candace in the chats with You Can Eat the Grass, but I was talking to her about, oh shoot, it just slipped my mind. Oh, about snapdragons. And we both decided, at least I think it was Candace, that we're going to go ahead and start letting the snapdragons grow and not pinching them, except for maybe a few, because those first initial stems are just so beautiful versus when I pinch and I just get all these little itty bitty stems. But definitely, I just had a bad snapdragon year, guys. There are just some things that grew easy last year, and then this year I really struggled with. And snapdragons, I really struggled with this year. So hopefully next year. Lisianthus is something that I would definitely order plug-wise if I ever try to grow it. I just haven't worked up the nerve to do it. Oh no! Oh Lord! Oh, that's horrible. Not a single one. Not a single one grew. That's so sad. Do y'all have any more questions before we go? We're getting to the hour and it's getting time. Hey, Allie. Glad you could make it. We're at the end. Just give it the conditions it likes. What condition? Dianthus. Dianthus hates me. Yes, I've tried to grow it. It hates me. I may try to give it one more shot. I don't know, but it hates me. It does like a little curl thing. It looks so, it's like the root like goes up and then it curls and then it dies. Dianthus hates me. I've also haven't tried to grow it as a cold flower, which is how you need to grow it, I found out. So maybe that's why it hates me. It's like, why are you trying to grow me in this heat? Same with the Chinese forget-me-nots. They hate me too right now. But you know who loves me? You know who really loves me? My Gumfrina. My Gumfrina is starting to bush out. It's so great. It looks beautiful. It's about to become the blob and I can't wait. Sorry guys, we disconnected. So since we disconnected, I'm going to take that as it's time to go. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this live. Thank you, Sarah, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. And for those of you who left super thanks on the videos, don't worry, I'm going to be giving you a shout out on the upcoming videos. And guys, I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all supporting the farm with your encouraging words, always showing up to watch the videos. Y'all are just amazing, and I appreciate it. I couldn't be happier to have y'all on this journey with me. So if you're just now joining, be sure to go back and watch where I answered all your questions. If you have more questions, let me know. It'll be another reason to have another fun chat. Thank you guys, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.